Good morning. I'm on my morning walk and this just feels like magic. Like I remember when I was a kid being out in nature, and I said this before in my other nature video, like everything felt so magical and expansive. And I think that feeling of magic and expansion turned into fear. Like, look at this. Like just up, 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 green, green, green. You know, the river. Nothing but green behind me. You can kind of get the feeling that like you're not alone, because you're not, right? Like even being out here, I was walking and praying, and I had a thought of like, oh, let me listen to music, let me listen to a podcast or something. I was like, no, I really want to be like present for this, like I want to be in the moment for this, with this, so I don't know, it's just like. And when I slowed down my pace, I felt like I was walking back into childhood. Like, look at this. Look at these mushrooms. You see that? Like, wow. So amazing to me how, like, okay, humans think, I saw this diagram where it's like humans in the middle and like everything on the outside is like nature, like animals, plants, all the things. And so I was like, it's amazing how arrogant we are to believe that, one, we're not a part of this whole ecosystem, right? But there's something that happens when you get in nature, because like you are nature, you're a part of it, right? And so we spend all this time being put in these vases or these rooms, right? Like these boxes, these homes, these cars, whatever it is. And when we get back in nature, it's like something in us reconnects with this. Like, no, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. When I slow down and lay my eyes on everything around me, it just feels magical and expansive. The cicadas are singing. They're mating this time of year. It's like the nostalgic sound of summer. Then sometimes I hear the mourning dove. The whoo, 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 right? Also not being afraid to sweat. You're not out here trying to be pretty. The smell of nature. Ooh, like you're not out here trying to be pretty. You're out here trying to be, and the benefits of sweating, I'll talk about that later. But like when I'm walking slowly and taking my time and having an intimate conversation and an intimate dance with nature, right? Then I feel the magic of my childhood again. The wonder and the awe. Wow, like this was all here before I was even born. You feel me? Like before I was even thought of, this stuff was here. I'll probably turn around soon. But this stuff was here. This is where wisdom is. This is where peace is. This is where I feel most at home. Like no matter where I am, if you get me in some trees, some nature, a beach, right? Like I feel reoriented. I feel refreshed. I feel like me again. And I feel like the more I come out to nature, like even the way that these trees are, look at this. Isn't that amazing? Oh, let me back up. Isn't that cool how like the bottoms are clear, but the top, right? The top is going towards the sun. Little things like that. I think I'm gonna turn around now. But little things like that, simple things that remind us like we're not alone, we're surrounded by life. I was listening to this podcast about plants, and science is catching up with spirit, okay? And it's, I love science, here for it. I was a science major in college, right? But what I also recognize is that science is the observation of things that already are. It's like putting language to what already exists so that humans understand, and so that humans can manipulate things or change things for the better, best case scenario, right, or for the worst. And so there's this podcast talking about plants and talking about how plants can feel, how plants have families and emotions and thoughts and things like that. And they're like, and they were using this like, I don't know, they were using this measurement of oh, is this plant intelligent? That was the question. Is the plant intelligent, right? And my answer is like, duh. Like, I don't know how to photosynthesize. Hello? Like, the plants communicate to each other. The plants heal us. The plants, when we eat the plants know what to do, right? And our cells know what to do with that plant. And the plant does its job. You feel me? Yeah, like, duh. Plants are intelligent. But the way that they were measuring intelligence had a lot to do with how much, it's almost like they were asking, how much like humans are these plants? And I think that's where we get it messed up. We are nature, okay? Like this is how I feel. We're nature, and how we express our intelligence, how we express our things, or how intelligent we are is not based on how human-like this thing is. Does this thing have human-like characteristics that I can understand and comprehend? Because in some way you're bringing down the intelligence of plant life to be like, oh, and it's centering humans in the self to be like, oh, if this plant doesn't think like me, then it's not intelligent like me. And if it's not intelligent like me, then it's not worthy of the respect that I demand as a human being. And I think that's so bizarre and so wicked. How are we more intelligent than plants when we need plants to survive, right? Like, how disposable, my arms are getting tired. Whew. Need to work on my upper body strength. But how disposable are plants if we need them to breathe and to clean up our messes? We're the ones polluting the earth. Hello? Like, we need plants. And plants need us, right? But we need plants to survive, to get along. Animals need plants. Plants need plants. I've been really, and I'll share more about it as I research it, but really researching plants and life in general just brings me to awe and wonder to the great creator who created all of this that I get to enjoy and I get to benefit from. So I love learning about nature and even learning about how plants are friends with each other. And I thought to myself, like, you know, I need to go to school to study botany, and I realized my grandmother was a botanist, right? She didn't go to college to get the thing done. Someone's behind me, but thank God I can see them. Okay. But she didn't go to college for botany, right? But she definitely had the wisdom, and she passed down that wisdom and that passion for nature to my mother, and my mother passed it on to me, right? And that's a gift that I'm going to be writing about and sharing with y'all, because I was reluctant at first. I didn't want to be out in the heat, and I didn't want to, you know, I liked getting dirty. I liked playing, but I didn't like the work of planting because I wanted the return. I just wanted the plants. You feel me? I just wanted the yield without appreciating or understanding the work that it took, the time, the intention, the wisdom that I didn't have at the time to plant and grow things, right? And so, but once I started falling in love with the art of nature and like the growing, like in researching stuff that maybe my grandmother didn't know, but she knew. You feel me? Okay, for example, there has been this, I'm sure that maybe you've heard of it, like sing to your plants, talk nicely to your plants, right? Now they're saying, scientists are now saying, oh, there may be some validity to that. No stuff, right? Like, because the way that we operate with plants now is a very transactional thing, right? Back in the day, people were communing with plants. We're communing with the earth, taking care of the earth, not trying to subdue it, taking care of it, right? And I think about my ancestors, even in enslavement, because that's where ultimately my grandmother got from spirit and from her ancestors, right? The spirit through her ancestors. Hold on one sec. I'm maneuvering some rocks. Give me one sec. Okay, made it over the rocks, but I want to show you this. Isn't it just so peaceful? Oh, let me back up. Just peaceful. And there's like a little water glider on here. Probably multiple. You can kind of see him out there. Let me see. Yeah. Is that there? No. It's somewhere over here. Oh, there she is. If I can focus on her. There we go. Hi, cutie. Okay. So like I was saying, my grandmother had the gift, right, of nature. And I think about my enslaved ancestors. I think about them often in nature. And I think about like how nature literally communicated to them which way to go towards freedom. Nature literally held them. Nature hid them, right? Nature kept their secrets. Nature covered them. And so to think that nature is not alive and intelligent doesn't make any sense to me, because nature is always renewing itself. Nature always survives. You put a building in a place, right? Eventually that building is going to be either visited by some creatures that Mother Nature takes care of, or that land, if left untended, right, is going to be overtaken with overgrowth, with trees, with vines, all these different things, because nature always wins, and because nature is smart. Nature is intelligent, right? Like, meanwhile, our little human things are ruining the earth. And it's just like the arrogance of man is always amazing to me, because we really think we run this. And we don't understand like how much we need the ant, how much we need the bee. The bee population was going down a couple of years ago, but it's going back up. But like, you realize, like, without our pollinators, we have no food for that need pollinating, right? Like, in all of our wisdom often destroys things that work easily and seamlessly in nature. But it's our arrogance thinking that our intelligence is better that ruins stuff. Our need to hurry up and produce, right? Our not understanding how to operate with the seasons. You know, understanding that not every season and not every year is for planting and harvesting. We don't understand that because we live under capitalism, which tells us to constantly create. And the further away we are from nature, the more we forget that. But the closer that we do live to nature, you know, the more that we are taken care of, because nature takes care of us when we honor nature and nature systems and speak nature's love language. I wrote down in my journal recently that, I realize I also eat my words, whatever, but I wrote down in my journal that I can't believe that I live on an earth that literally tells me which way that I'm going or which way I need to go, whether that be through magnetic pull, whether that be through the stars in the sky. And when people ask me if there's a God, if I believe in God, or like, how do you not, right? Like, if people ask me, like, I was having this conversation with my friend, Jordan. It's kind of like funny, but whatever. But he was asking me about like leprechauns. I don't even know how we got on the topic, but he was asking me, do I believe they exist? And I was like, yes. And he was like, why? I said, because stranger things have happened. What? Why? Okay, cool. Like, what? Like, that's the least of my worries, right? It's not really a worry, but that's the least of my concern. That's not what I'm hung up on. There's a caterpillar that creates its own cocoon and turns into goo, and then turns into a butterfly. Metamorphosis, turns into a butterfly, right? And then pumps liquid into their wings to be able to fly. We are living in a sci-fi, okay? So a man with a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, listen, I don't even know the lore behind all of the leprechaun, but like, yeah, sure, why not? Do aliens exist? Why not? You know what I'm saying? We have hummingbirds that, because we have a hummingbird feeder outside of mommy's house, we get visited by hummingbirds every summer. Come to find out, hummingbirds, it's almost like they can download a GPS map from their parents. And so when you see a hummingbird every year, it might not be the same hummingbird, right? It might be their baby. And what's wild is the baby hummingbird knows the routes to go from their parents without ever having to go that route. Strange. Magical. Like, wow. It's the more that I learn about nature. And it's so funny because people are like, oh, do you believe in God or science? Both, right? Like, again, science for me is the observation of what God is already doing, what spirit is already doing. We can have both, you know, and there's obviously wisdom in nature and things that we can use in nature for our good. The problem is ninjas always want to use stuff for bad and evil and greed. You feel me? But yeah, of course. Like, anyway, so this question about like Is plant life intelligent? How do you explain that? Because, girl, I'm gonna let you know right now, sometimes I don't even know where I'm going driving, okay? Where I've been before. And these hummingbirds, never having been to these places, know exactly what's going on. What? Ain't no way. Ain't no way nature is not intelligent. Nature is intelligent enough to sustain you, to hold you up. Why would you not believe? Like, you feel me? Anyway. So you understand why I was just so irritated by that question. Is plant life intelligent? Meaning, is plant life like me? And the more that it's like me, the more I will respect it. That's the problem. The more plant life is like me, the more I will respect it. Why can't you respect it and it not be anything like you? The human condition is so amazing. Like, we really take our superiority and our arrogance, this air of superiority, I should say, and our arrogance, and really lord it over everything and everybody. We're not even studying nature to be curious or to learn more and to learn more about ourselves. Because I love learning about nature and applying it to myself, and applying it to community and all that good stuff, because nature has the answers. Even in the Bible, it says, like, the foundations of the earth, the foundations of the earth were created with wisdom. Nature is wise. Nature is intelligent. We learn a lot from nature. So anyway, ooh, the sun. Hold on. I don't need people, plants, animals to be like me to respect it. I don't need to understand everything completely to respect it. I don't need it to be relatable to be respected. You feel me? And I think that humans, because we are so given to, like, I don't know, pride, ego, having our ego stroked. I can't think of the word that I'm looking for, but we want so badly to be better than everything else. We want to be independent instead of interdependent. We want to be, like, we despise anything that we know we need to survive, because it reminds us of our humanity. It reminds us of our desperate need to be cared for, right? Because in a place where we celebrate, even though it's false, we celebrate independence and pulling ourselves up by our own bootstraps and being self-made and all this different stuff, which again is not a thing, just to be clear. Of course we despise nature. Of course we hate nature, because we need nature to survive. Isn't that how we treat everybody that we need? The hospitality people that work, right? The people who work in hospitality or care or food service, they're treated with the least respect, even though we need them the most. It's almost like, it's like a self-hatred. It's like despising self, because we need things. We need people. We need plants and oxygen and air, and everything we need, we destroy. Everything we need, we gatekeep or pollute or figure out a way to sell it. We don't hold anything sacred. We just, like, I'm talking about like water, things we need, okay? Like, I was in the grocery store thinking about getting some water, and a bottle of water was $4, and it was just a gallon. A gallon of water was $4 at this one place. We left, needless to say. We left and went somewhere else. A gallon of water was $4. A watermelon, seedless, mind you, no seeds, no potential for anything else, right, was $6.99. And even that was on sale. It was supposed to be $8.99. Whew. And again, like, I have thoughts. It's theft. But like, the idea, when I really think about that thing, like, we're paying $4 for what's free. We're paying $6 for what was always free, but somebody stole from somebody, right? And gatekept, and then put it on sale. All the things that we have to pay for in life regarding, like, water, food, shelter even, was free. It might have cost our labor, right? It might have cost connections. We might have to have connections to people, you know, to grow the things that we needed. But this stuff was all free. It existed in nature before you came and colonized it and stole it. And now they're making us work. Like, just think about people who work who make $10 an hour. You feel me? And let's say that watermelon was not on sale. That watermelon costs an hour of that person's life. That water, the $4 costs someone, like getting what, 4 of those things, 4 waters, no, 5. Well, when you factor in tax. Anyway, 2 hours of this person's life, not labor, life. Because yes, they are working, but they're not getting paid for the project. You feel me? They're getting paid per hour. Like an hour of their life is worth $10. And it really disgusted me. Every time I go to the store, I get irritated. Because I'm like, this used to be free. How dare you? How dare you charge us $10 for a watermelon? And it don't even have no seeds. It's GM. It's not even good. Half of them watermelons be spoiled, cracked, don't even be sweet or juicy, made with no care. No care at all. And me and my friend Alexis were talking about this weekend. You can feel the difference in food. You can taste the difference in food that's made with intention and care and love versus what's microwaved. We were talking about the different experiences at like restaurants and how, like, if you go to Applebee's, for example, you know, it might be good, but it's probably just gonna be really salty. And it's gonna be like, oh, it's enjoyable enough. You know what I mean? But if you go to somewhere where these are people who care about food and care about the care of people with food and take and love people through food, right? You're gonna feel and taste the difference. It's gonna be a higher quality, right? It's gonna be tastier, more complex, a different kind of experience, different thoughtfulness and care went into that food, right? But when you don't have finances, you don't even know what you're missing, right? Like, it's almost like they're gatekeeping the senses and the experiences that we were all meant to have. We were all meant to have juicy fruit and whatever. And anybody who says we don't is lying. Like, we have to reckon with the fact that what we're paying for, again, was free. It's stolen land, stolen wealth, and stolen just so that they can create a solution and sell it back to us for hours of our life. So they're giving us food that takes away from our life, that lowers the life quality, but requiring us to work hours of our life away that we can't get back. I always bring it back here somehow. Get back, right? To eat subpar food, which means that they think that we are disposable and less than and less intelligent than. You feel me? So just like the plant life, we're always trying to find a reason why we shouldn't respect something. Like, make it okay to not respect the plants because they're not as intelligent as I am. The audacity of you, the arrogance of you, right? The plant can even send signals to other plants, alerting them that a predator is near them. It draws other predators so that they stop getting eaten. So like if I don't know, if something is eating a tree, for example, right? Then the plant will send a signal to seduce the animals that eat the animal that's eating the tree. Ain't no way. And a lot of us can't even ask for what we need. What do you mean? Is plant life intelligent? Of course. Of course. We are guests. These plants are our home, but it's not a person in the middle and the world surrounding them. That scared me. Ooh. It's not the plants, it's not the person in the middle and the world around them, the plants, the animals, the fungi, all the different things surrounding them. No. We're all in a circle. We are all interdependent. We benefit from the maggot benefits from us at some point, you know, hopefully no time soon. You feel me? Like, we are all interconnected. Like, Lion King, it's not just a cute song, The Circle of Life. It's for real. Let me pass over this. It's loud and scary. Walking back somewhere is always faster than walking to it when you're exploring new things. I'm like, how did I get here this fast? Hello, little birds. Hello. One more overpass. Hold on. I think this is so magical. Isn't that pretty? The reflection. Nature is intelligent enough to sustain life, to take care of us and all the animals without polluting things. And like, is nature intelligent? It's just so interesting. Like, even the framing of that question just tells where our hearts and minds are as people that we see everything to be as something to be sold or consumed and not respected or enjoyed. And maybe the idea of being surrounded by intelligent life that is not us is scary, but I actually find it like comforting, you know, like, oh, thank you, nature, for taking care of me. Like, even going down to a cellular level, like that's what I've been doing with my body. Thank you, white blood cells. And I'm gonna plan on sharing what I've found out about these things. But like, white blood cells being the warriors for our body, fighting things that we don't even know that are in there, okay? Killing cancers and cleaning up broken cells. And we are so arrogant. And it really takes us away from the opportunity to be grateful and to be filled with awe and wonder and curiosity and intrigue, right? It removes the opportunity for us to be students. Like, we put so much pressure on ourselves to have to know everything, to be smarter than everything. And it's like, that's so heavy. Isn't it more like, isn't it lighter? Lighter just to be like, you know what? I love that the nature knows what's going on, even when I don't know what's going on. Because now I can rest. Now I don't have to juggle every daggone thing. You feel me? Now I don't have to figure everything out. Because I can sleep knowing that nature is healing itself and figuring it out every single day. And if I am nature, okay, then so am I. I don't have to know everything today, you know? Even with this plant conversation, they were talking about, like, oh no, if plants are intelligent, then we can't eat them, right? And I understand that, because like, oh no, I don't want to hurt your feelings. That's how I feel about trees that people write on. I'm like, poor tree, and I stop and I touch it to tell it sorry. But we can ask if a plant is willing to feed us, right? How do we do that? Just like learning from indigenous folk, like from Braiding Sweetgrass, for example. Don't take the first. Leave something always, right? And then leave gratitude. But then also ask, like, is this willing, right? How do we do that? Is this ripe? Is this ripe? Is this harming the plant, right? And then also understanding that even feeding us eating the plant is still pruning. I thought about that the other day. I was like, does that mean that when we eat and we take what we need, not everything, when we take what we need from the plant, instead of treating the plant like an enslaved black woman and forcing her to reproduce, you feel me? When we ask the plant if it's willing and we take from that plant what we need, we are pruning that plant, and that plant can keep yielding, because every plant needs to be pruned. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Like, just nature works how it's supposed to work. It's only us. We be in the way, honey. We be doing too much. Let nature hold you and keep you. Let nature wow you, you know? Simple things like the crow calling. Crows are also very smart, by the way. Very intelligent creatures. Very intelligent creatures. They use tools. And that's another thing, right? Like, oh, they use tools like humans, so they're intelligent. But even if they could get it open without the tools that we use, wouldn't that make them more intelligent? If a plant can take the sun, the thing that we be running from and hiding from, and turn that into food and energy, doesn't that make them intelligent? And sometimes we have to, like, oh, okay. We have to admit that we don't want to admit that things are more intelligent than us. Hold on, more rocks. We did it. We did it. We did it. Yay. Oh, I hear a duck. You hear it? Anyway. Yeah. If they didn't need tools, they don't need nothing but the sun to get energy and food. And then we eat their work. And then call ourselves intelligent. More intelligent than them. How? How? This bizarre, this desperate need to be something better and greater than what we already are, right? It's like the hatred of nature. It's the hatred of self. It's the hatred of, yeah, nature. And being kin to nature. You know? I was going to list all the different things, but just nature, you know? And even when I think about, like, mountains, right? I have never, ever, ever desired to climb a mountain. Never, ever. You know why? Because I don't need to, like, I'm not talking mountains like, I'm not talking about, like, trails. I'm talking about, like, oh, we're climbing Mount Everest. Why? Is it not enough to be able to witness such a majestic being, such as the mountain? Like, is that not enough? Like, no, it's not enough to just witness something beautiful and to be, again, a witness to like, wow, wonder, magic. No, it like, I have to lord over this thing. This mountain will not be bigger than me. I'm better than this mountain. It's so weird. It's so weird. And then people pass away and they say things like, I conquered this mountain. They put their flag on top of the mountain. They like, you know what I'm saying? Even going to the moon. Let's put our flag. One step for mankind. What is it? One step, whatever. I don't even know the phrase. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, it matters, but I don't, okay, whatever. So, so like this need to conquer these majestic beings is so strange. I don't need to be out in the wilderness surviving on Survivor. Ooh, something in my eye. With Bear Grylls and all, whatever his name is. I don't need that. Okay? Nature wants to be kind and gentle to me and loving. Nature doesn't want me on top of Mount Everest because that's not where I'm supposed to be. Hello? But you know where I could be? Right here, right now. And I'm going to go now and spend more time with nature. But thanks for walking with me. I hope that you're getting outside and slowing down a little bit. It's hot, well, number one. But number two, there are so many beautiful things to see and to witness. You know, so much life. So that's what I'm wishing you today. So much life, joy, wisdom, awe, and wonder. I'll talk to you later. Bye.